few weeks ago, a documentary was released that shocked millions. It was a joint investigative series that involved Channel 4, The Sunday Times, and The Times. This documentary, titled Russell Brand in Plain Sight, involved 4 anonymous women who alleged Brand had inappropriate and harmful interactions with them. Although all of these accusations are alleged, it seems it has started a conversation about Brand's behavior as more and more people are coming forward with their stories, and the police have even opened investigations surrounding all of this. Hello everyone, I'm Melanie, and today we're going to be discussing the top 10 reasons Russell Brand is going to prison. I do want to give a warning before we get started. All of these are currently allegations, and although the UK police recently opened an investigation towards this case, we do have to keep in mind individuals are innocent until proven guilty by law. Some of these topics we'll be discussing may be sensitive for some viewers. For number 10, we have grooming. One of the women featured to share her story in the documentary claims she was in a relationship with Brand when she was young, in fact still in secondary school, and Brand was 30. She goes by the name Alice, and allegedly Brand used the BBC broadcaster's taxi in order to pick her up from school in a more discreet manner. They started their relationship after Brand saw her shopping and approached her before searching in her bags and pulling out a dress she purchased. He apparently said, "You're gonna wear this on our date this week." Alice and her mother both called Brand's behavior grooming because her age or the fact she was still attending school didn't turn him away. Apparently, he told Alice he didn't care if she was young, but he needed to know where he stood legally. She also opens up about how Brand would refer to her as the child and even asked her to read Lolita, which is a novel that was banned in several countries because of the intimate relationship between the 37-year-old narrator and his very young stepdaughter, which the whole book goes into. Brand also apparently coached Alice with what to say when it came to her parents, including changing his name on her phone to Carly. Not only that, but Alice recalls Brand becoming increasingly more controlling as time went on, as she listed a few incidents that are too graphic for me to share on here. But ultimately, their relationship ended after Brand allegedly took it too far during an act which caused Alice to actually punch him in the stomach in order to get him to stop, and even recounted one time where she went to visit Brand in his home only to find someone else with him in bed. For number 9, we have Accusations of SA. All 4 women that spoke up against Brand in the documentary have shared their side of the story as they accused Brand for SA. These allegations against Brand occurred during the height of his fame between 2006 and 2013, and one of these women alleged Brand pushed her against the wall of his home in LA before he began to SA her. Another one of these women claimed Brand visited her home, which he allegedly SA'd her there, and later on threatened to take legal action if she's spoken about these allegations to anyone else. Brand has also continued to deny all of these claims against him, as he states all the relationships he had in the past were consensual, and he even says he was always transparent, maybe too transparent. The police in the UK have since launched an investigation, so I guess only time will be able to tell. And for number 8, we have following a girl home. This was alleged by an anonymous ex-model who shared her experience with the Sun. She apparently met him at a bar in 2005 located in Primrose Hill and claimed she had to ask him to leave her alone multiple times that night, but he still proceeded to follow her home after being turned away. Not only was she walking alone at night through the streets of London, but she had Brand walking behind her, and she said it felt like a lifetime. While walking, Brand allegedly shouted at her and said, "Let's just right here." She further elaborated on how she felt like he was hunting her down, and not in a fun and flirty game, as she even confirms the claims that are labeling him as a predator due to his goal and intention of trying to get with someone or anyone, as the model claims. And for number 7, we have pressure. In a 2006 interview Dannii Minogue did before any of these recent SA allegations came out, she talked about her experience on Russell Brand's show, as she was set to appear to promote her album. Although she said she was very excited to meet him for the first time, she was left with an unpleasant experience. She spoke about her time with the Mirror and described Brand as being crazy and a bit of a vile predator. She believes he hasn't cured his addiction when it comes to women, and claimed he wouldn't take no for an answer. Since the recent allegations, Danny's interview has resurfaced, as many view this video as a warning sign from years ago. And for number 6, we have warning other women. Daniel Sloss, who is a comedian, actor, and writer, was one of the first from the industry to publicly speak out against brand. Hundreds of sources who have worked with brand in the past, including other celebrities and comedians, were all asked to speak up about brand for the documentary. However, Daniel was the only one who was willing to speak on record. Daniel even revealed how several other women comedians were in a group chat together on WhatsApp, where they would actually warn each other about brand's behavior. Sloss stated, "I know for many years women have been warning each other about Russell. There were many stories. It wasn't just coming from one person or one group of people, it was different incidents over different years and of varying degrees of severity. He was a big name, big household name. If you were a comedian and got to gig with him, you'd be gigging with a celebrity. I'm stood in bars with agents, promoters, channel commissioners, and I'm hearing these allegations and rumors with Russell in the same room. And later on, he would be on a movie or a television show. He would be hosting something. He was still being employed." It is clear, at least according to Daniel, that multiple people in the industry knew what was going on behind the scenes, but potentially because he was in the height of his career, many were quick to turn a blind eye. And for number 5, we have being labeled a pimp. According to some of the crew members that worked for Big Brother alongside Russell Brand as he was representing Big Brother Big Mouth on Channel 4 from 2004 to 2006, he would allegedly ask the showrunners to go approach the audience members who Brand found attractive. They would then ask them for their information in order for Brand to meet up with them afterwards. The ex-staff members claimed they all knew he was a predator, as he would often get himself in sticky situations with other women. Another staff member described the workplace environment as a free-for-all due to everyone being culpable, as they knew how he was like. Another stated, "I distinctly remember getting phone calls from women in tears the next day, saying they'd met up with Russell. It was like we were taking lambs into slaughter. We were basically acting like pimps to Russell Brand's needs." And for number 4, we have allegations from London Hughes. She is the comedian who actually shared her opinion on Russell Brand following the recent claims, as she tweeted on X, formerly known as Twitter, calling him a self-confessed addict when it came to seeking other women. She stated, "I was newly signed with Russell's agent at the height of his career. I was a huge fan of the man, so excited to meet him, but my first day at the agency I was told unprovoked to not sleep with him under any circumstances, as he liked to pursue women." Apparently, London claimed whenever a woman decided to have intimacy with Brand, they would allegedly make him feel sick and no longer wanted them to be around anymore, which would lead them to being fired or even dropped entirely from the agency. She said this happened several times, and when she was told this at 22, she did exactly what the agency said and completely avoided him. She also then showed support towards the women in the documentary and validated their feelings, as she believes Brand isn't some cheeky, misunderstood man, as she wasn't shocked by the documentary at all. And she's even proud for these brave women for speaking out. For number 3, we have offering his assistant naked to Jimmy Savile. This resurfaced 2007 clip showed how Brand called Savile and he was told they could meet if Brand brought a sister. But Brand doesn't actually have a sister, so he went with the next best option, which apparently was his employee, more specifically his assistant. Savile requested she should be naked, which Brand responded with, "I haven't gotten any sisters, but I've got a personal assistant, and part of her job description is that anyone I demand she greets, meets, massages, she has to do it. She's very attractive, Jimmy." Especially because she worked for Brand, there is a power imbalance because her job is on the line. Although Jimmy passed away in 2011 at the age of 84, his crimes didn't come to light until after this. In fact, over 450 allegations were brought up to the police following his death, and those crimes are way too graphic to share. For number 2, we have Sashgate. This was way ahead of our time before Lashgate, Tattoogate, and even Cakegate was going all around TikTok. Although none of this was technically illegal, it definitely altered the life for a few. When Russell Brand had his own prank broadcast in 2008, he thought it would be a great idea to call actor Andrew Satches, who was best known for his role on Fawlty Towers, and bragged about all the stuff he said he inappropriately done with Andrew's granddaughter Georgia. Although it was just a prank, it changed the relationship between the family members, as Andrew actually didn't talk to his own granddaughter for 8 years. Georgia has spoken up about this incident and elaborates how she felt like she was taken advantage of in the situation because she was a young girl who was starstruck by celebrities, as she would and did anything in this case. She looks back at the situation since she was only 20 at the time and was partying a bunch, and realized she was already facing addiction at the time. After the situation went down, Russell Russell was making jokes with Georgina being the butt of them all during his stand-up comedy routines, which she claims he made millions off of. Georgina did say Russell apologized for this whole situation and believes he was being sincere. However, a part of her feels like the only reason why he did apologize was because of all the eyes on the situation. Apparently, he did also pay for her rehab afterwards, which seems to make Georgina feel a little better and have the support to move past this whole incident, but unfortunately, the relationship with her grandfather never fully recovered. And for number 1, we have his behavior towards women. Over the years, because he's a public figure, there's often receipts or clips always resurfacing about things he once said. Whether they're a joke or not, some people believe it shows a history of behavioral tendencies that seem to be repeated. One of these instances included making comments about the former Alaskan governor, Sarah Palin. In 2014, he told the reports that if Sarah appeared on a show, he would skip over the politics and jump straight into her physical appeal. His exact quote is a bit too graphic to share, but he basically said the only reason why the public tolerates this former Alaskan governor is because of what they want to do with her. His famous ex-wife Katy Perry also spoken up about her relationship she once had with Brand, and claims in the beginning it seemed like he was seeking an equal that Katy wanted to be. However, as time went on, it was clear he wanted more power over Perry. The director of the Hijack series, Jim Field Smith, didn't directly mention Brand, but following the accusations, he tweeted on X explaining a time where an A-list celebrity he called Actor X was considered to play a role in his projects. However, many other actors apparently expressed their concerns about this Actor X being hired, as they wanted nothing to do with him due to all the claims surrounding his behavior, which actually caused Smith to tell the actor straight up what the concerns were, as they ended up not hiring Actor X. Smith continues to say it was due to his repeated patterns this actor exhibited, as many feared him behind the scenes. This is definitely not the first time someone in Hollywood has been accused of serious crimes. However, only time will be able to tell what happens next. What are your thoughts surrounding the recent launch of a police investigation? We would love to hear all your opinions down below.